Christine Leehealey, and I'm a board-certified rheumatologist. I have treated patients with arthritis and autoimmune disease for over a decade, and some of the most common questions I get on a daily basis are, what foods should I eat to help my condition? What kind of diet is recommended to help with my joint pain? While there are no major clinical trials that have addressed this, I have begun to research these questions which are so important to my patients. Based on the medical literature we have available, I really believe in the power of food choices. And not only have I developed recommendations, but I've also incorporated these into delicious recipes to share with you. At this point, we've covered how and why gout attacks occur, and briefly discussed what foods to avoid. Today I want to go one step further and explore foods that may actually help reduce gout pain and attack frequency. Many of my patients have reported meaningful success controlling gout by increasing their consumption of vitamin C supplements, coffee, and cherry juice. So I think it makes sense to explore each one of these. There are medical studies that show vitamin C supplements, 500 milligrams per day, may reduce the levels of uric acid in your blood. However, the studies are conflicting. Some show that it lowers uric acid and others show that it does not. More importantly, there have been no studies demonstrating that vitamin C affects the frequency or severity of gout attacks. So we should put this to rest for now. Coffee has been shown in clinical studies to reduce serum uric acid level. Drinking 4 to 5 cups of coffee per day has been associated with 40% fewer gout attacks in men, and drinking 6 cups per day has been associated with 60% fewer gout attacks. Further studies showed that this association was not due to caffeine, as it could not be replicated by drinking tea or other caffeinated drinks. There is clearly some element in coffee that helps gout, but we are not sure what this is. More research needs to be done. Bottom line is, drink your coffee if you like, and decaffeinated coffee should work just as well, but you will need a lot of it every day in order to have good influence on your gout. Many people turn to cherries, fresh, frozen, juice, extract, supplement pills, to help alleviate their gout attacks. It turns out that cherries have been shown in several small clinical trials to help reduce gout attacks. According to a study of 12 people with gout, eating half a pound of cherries or drinking an equivalent amount of cherry juice prevented attacks of gout. And it didn't matter what type of cherries were used. Black, Rainier, red, sour cherries were all effective. A study done at UC Davis found that women who ate cherries every day had a decrease in blood uric acid levels by 15%. A larger study reported by the Arthritis and Rheumatism Journal showed that 633 gout patients had 35% less gout attacks when they ate half a cup of cherries, which is 10 to 12 cherries, per day. Patients who ate even more cherries, 2 servings per day, were able to lower their risk by 50%. My question is, what is the component in cherries that is lowering the risk of gout? The research that I came across identifies anthocyanins, a pigment in cherries that contributes to its deeply red and purple color, as the element that helps to lower gout risk. There are actually many different fruits and vegetables that contain anthocyanins. Concord grapes, blueberries, raspberries, and eggplants top the list of highest anthocyanin content, even higher than in cherries. It seems the darker and deeper the purple or red, the better. In a study reported in 2011, researchers extracted anthocyanins from the purple potato and gave it to mice that were genetically induced to have high uric acid levels. An injection of anthocyanins significantly lowered the uric acid levels in these mice. So eating cherries, which has long been an old wives' tale or home remedy for gout attacks, actually has medical validity. But even better, eating any of those dark red and purple fruits and vegetables containing anthocyanins should theoretically help to lower gout risk. How can you incorporate anthocyanins in your daily diet? Come into my kitchen. I'll show you how. So today I'm making a cherry berry smoothie and some homemade granola bars. You can use these for breakfast, for snacks. They're great. They're going to be hearty and healthy and full of anthocyanins. So I'm going to get started on my granola bar first. I have here 1 cup of uncooked whole oats, okay, and I'm just going to spread this throughout my baking sheet, which is lined with Silpat. You could use parchment paper. To this I'm going to add half a cup of uncooked quinoa, okay, and this actually helps to break up the granola bar because sometimes when it's just oats it's very dense. So I'm going to just spread that around, and then I have half a cup of slivered almonds, which I love, and all of this is going to toast up really nicely first when we bake it in a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. Okay, so I've toasted up my oat quinoa almond mixture and I have it here in this bowl. I'm going to work on my wet ingredients now. I have here 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and a 1/4 cup of honey, which I've microwaved for 30 seconds just to get everything liquefied. I'm going to add to this a pinch of salt and also just a splash of vanilla extract. Okay, and I'm stirring this up a little. And then I'm just going to add it to my dry ingredients here and give this a big stir. Okay, and then at this point, I'm going to add in a couple of other things. I have here a 1/4 cup of shredded coconut. I prefer the unsweetened one. It adds great flavor at the end of this granola bar. And then my star ingredient, which is 3/4 cup of dried cut up fruit. I have here cherries, blueberries, and strawberries. You can use whatever you want that has your source of anthocyanins. And I'm just going to get this all mixed up. And lastly, I'm going to add in my binder, which I'm using 2 egg whites. Now a lot of people use peanut butter, any number of other binders, but obviously the egg whites have a lot of protein in it and really make the consistency of my granola bar great. It's between chewy and crunchy. Okay, all this looks great. I'm just mixing it all up and putting it back on my Silpat here. Now it looks really wet, which it's supposed to. It's all going to bake down and get really crispy and fragrant in the oven. Okay, I'm just going to use the back of a spatula to kind of press it down into about 1/2 inch thickness. Okay, and I'm going to kind of just use my spatula to roughly shape it into kind of a rectangle so there's no stray ingredients. And that way I can cut it into bars when everything's done. Okay, so just keep pressing. Okay, so it's really tight. Great. I'm ready to stick it back in the oven, 350 degrees again, for 15 minutes. All right, I'm ready to whip up my cherry berry smoothie. I have here my Vitamix blender, and I'm putting in 1 cup of frozen cherries, strawberries, and blueberries. Now you could use whatever red or purple fruits you have on hand that have anthocyanins. I'm adding a few frozen chunks of pineapple, which I love for the texture and the sweetness. You could add in fresh banana. And then I have 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. I like vanilla, but if you use plain, you can always put in a tablespoon of honey for the sweetener. And then I have here 2/3 cup of milk. Today I'm using almond milk, but you can use whatever you'd like. All right, you just blend this up for about 30 seconds. So let's go. Let's try it. Awesome, perfect. My breakfast is ready. My refreshing smoothie and my granola bar. Remember, the star ingredients for this meal are the fruits. I chose cherries, blueberries, and strawberries, but you could use whatever you have on hand and you love. Raspberries, blackberries, currants, and even black figs are high in anthocyanin content. It's easy to incorporate these fruits into your meals to lower your gout risk. The studies suggest you need to make it a part of your daily regimen. I'm Dr. Christine Leehealey, and these are Cooking Points for Healthy Joints.